One. I've just started with an injury update to start with. Arthur Reed and Cole Skew. So are they close to being considered for the weekend or not?
Arthur Reed's trained from Tuesday, so he's good. He'll come back into the squad this week, which is a bonus, which is helpful for us. Cole Skew's progressing well, but won't be ready for this week.
I mean, Cole is someone obviously we've known for a long time in these parts with Colchester and with Ipswich as well. No doubt a player you've been aware of for a number of years. He offers so much at his stage of his career.
Yeah, we're looking forward to getting him back in. You know, he's obviously very experienced now and has been a really good player for a number of years. So he's still been really good around the place, you know, and having an influence off the pitch. And it'd be great to get him back in training and back into the fold.
We just spoke to Alamin Kazim, a player who's very much in the early stages of his professional career, and who'd spent a little time out, having played a lot of football at the start of the season. He's come back in under you and said how much he loved being back in it. What have you seen from him in your early time here?
I think his biggest strength is his 1v1 defending. He's excellent. He's really strong in that aspect of his game. There's areas that we need to improve with him defensively, and he's got good power and athleticism going forward. And again, there's things we can add to that now in terms of his output and his quality. But I've enjoyed working with him. He's been a breath of fresh air. He's really energetic and bright, and I think there's lots more that we can develop with him.
Very much in the modern look of a fullback and a wing back.
Yeah, I think as a wing back particularly, you know, he's explosive and he's very athletic, and as I say, as a 1v1 defender, I've been really impressed with him with that. And there's things that we can add and develop that will certainly take him to better performances and better levels.
No doubt, without putting words in your mouth, Connor will come back into the reckoning on the weekend, but Junior Chanadu on the right, Alamin Kazim on the left, two young wing backs finding their way in the game. I mean, they've got it all at their feet, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, and we want that competition. You know, it's a tough decision going into the weekend. With Connor Wood being available again after last week, and Alamin did well, so you know we've got a decision to make there in terms of what we do down our left side. And Junior, I thought, was a big improvement from Stockport to Leyton Orient. I thought it was a really big step on his performance, and he's adding things all the time. Again, really good attitude, wants to learn, wants to improve. And it's our job to help him do that.
Your first point last week and the first goals for a long time as well, so a couple of things off the players and the team's back as it were, but we said it a lot this season, the first goal in the game, particularly it seems to be in this division, it's just so important and so key.
I think it's at all levels of football, but that was the frustrating thing on Saturday with it, you know, the penalty decision, because up to that point, I mean, not only they'd not had a shot, they'd not got near our goal, we were so in control of the game, and then you get that one incident and an incorrect decision from the referee, and suddenly we're 1-0 down. So, but the flip side of that was we responded so well, and I said after the game, massive credit to the players for how they kept going in the closing stages. There's not many sides that haven't scored in as many games and haven't won in as many games that keep pushing and keep driving the way that we did. So you could see the confidence the first goal gave, and then we were pushing for that equaliser and got it and almost got a third. So we have to build on that now. We have to take that into Saturday's game and be confident and positive, look to score more goals and look to win the game.
Here's a couple of home games on the spin now, and you might look at them as against teams sort of mid to lower table who obviously still have things to play for as professionals, but games where we would hope and expect to take points just to pull yourselves away from getting sucked in again.
Yeah, like I said, really good point on the balance against Leyton Orient last week, and we want to build on that. You know, we want to target wins now in these home games. Full respect to both teams. Obviously, a better change of manager at Tranmere, so whether that's going to impact what they do and how they set up, we won't know until Saturday. But again, we've prepared well. The lads have been really bright and energetic this week. We're constantly adding things in day by day, and we want to take the performance from last week up again. And obviously we'll be looking to get 3 points and, as you say, move up that table and get away from the relegation zone as quickly as we possibly can.
Are you one of these coaches that looks at results of other teams in midweek when they're not playing?
No, really, I see them, I look at them, but I don't pay too much attention to them. It's in our hands. It's in our hands. As long as we perform and get the results, then we're fine. That's all you can control. So that's where my energy goes. That's where the players' energy needs to go, because if we control what's in our hands, then we're fine.
In terms of Tranmere, you mentioned that Mickey Mellon has left now. They've got an interim in charge. I mean, do you look at that from the outside and think, well, it might want to be a free hit for them, where the interim tries something that they haven't tried, or they completely change their personnel, that sort of thing?
You never know. they took it as caretakers before, Ian and Andy. So we've looked back at that, and they did really well. They actually changed to a diamond last time they were in charge. So whether they will do that again, whether they will stick with the 4-4-2 they've been playing, we have to be prepared for all eventualities. And they'll be looking to do well, and they're both experienced. They've both good coaches in their own right, and they've got really good players within their squad. So we're not underestimating anything. We're not taking our eye off anything. We're prepared thoroughly. We've got one more day to do that tomorrow, and then we go into the game in good shape.
Just finally for me, you've switched out the front two over a couple of games, and previous coaches have done that as well, as they just look for the right combination, as it were, because you've got very different strikers. They're all very different, aren't they?
Yeah, I thought last week was good. I thought Hops and Samson were very good as a pair, particularly defensively for us. Their work rate and their pressing, and I thought we were really brave with that and unsettled Leyton Orient, and took the game to them with that. And then John and Freddie coming on had really good impact in the closing stages. So we've got different ways of playing. We've got different systems we can use. We've got different personnel. There's been tough decisions because, again, this week they've all trained really well. They've trained really well. There's been a real brightness and intensity. The quality is going up. The confidence is improving. And we need to make sure we're taking that into the games.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you. Cheers.
It strikes me as always a bit of a tricky scenario for head coaches when you come up against a team that's just changed their manager, as you say there, but it sounds as though you're planning for any eventuality really with regard to Saturday.
Yeah, you look back at obviously their recent games and how they've been playing, but how much of that changes now with the manager going, we don't know. We won't know until we get a team sheet and the game starts on Saturday. So, but you've got to try and, like I said, we've looked back on when the previous time they were caretaker in charge, what they did then, look at that and give our best guess on what we think they're going to do, but be prepared, as you say, for different systems and different ways of playing, and still have a strong focus on us that this is how we're going to play, and if we get this right, that's the most important factor in the game.
Yeah, it's a difficult test though, because it's not so long ago that they beat Stevenage, so I mean, as you say, not to be underestimated.
No, they were a strong side in the league last season and weren't far off the playoffs at all. And they've still got good players within their squad. Nice mix of experience with some youth and athleticism in there. And it will be a tough game for sure. I'm sure the players there will be disappointed that Mickey lost his job, and will feel a bit aggrieved with that and want to put that right. So we know they're going to come and be, right at it and be looking to impose themselves on the game. So we have to be prepared for that, and we have to make sure that we're getting right what we want to get right and impacting the game in the way that we want.
3 of the next 4 fixtures are at home, and before you came in, the home record hasn't been great really. So how important is this home form between now and the end of the season?
Really important. You want to be good home and away, of course. We want to try and win every game that we play, but even more so at home, in front of our own supporters, and we want to make it a difficult place for opposition teams to come. We want to play with an intensity and a style of play that we think suits us and how we want to build moving forwards. And hopefully we can do that, and we can get the support on board and get the atmosphere that goes along with that, and win as many of these home games as we can.
Any fresh injury worries at all from Saturday?
No, we're all okay with the injuries. So like I say, Arthur Reed's come back in and train, which is great, which is positive for us, and hopefully over these coming weeks we'll get more coming back in.
Just a quick question about a young lad, Bradley Highline, and came and wasn't actually on the bench but was part of your squad last Saturday. What was the thinking behind sort of bringing him into the first team? Yeah,
it was a bit of experience for him. I'd seen him playing the 21s game and thought he did well, and the academy staff had spoken well of him, so we wanted to take one extra, in case you lose anyone in the warm-up or on the day of the game, to protect ourselves. And he was the one that deserved that opportunity, and he's a really lovely lad as well. He's got a really nice manner about him, and he was looking for all the set pieces in the dressing room and taking a real keen interest in everything. So hopefully that experience will help him and allow him to develop and a little taste of it, of what it's like, and hopefully he's now got the ambitions to try and get in that dressing room himself.
And he has been scoring quite a few goals for the under-21s as well, which I'm sure has captured your attention.
Yeah, no, he's been doing well, and as I say, the academy staff have spoken well of him in recent weeks. He played well when I saw him. Managed to see the under-18s play this week, and there was a few good performances in there as well. So, we want a pathway here, and we want opportunities for the young players from the academy. Brad's done well, and he's now got to push on and try and get past those that are currently in front of him, if you like.
Just one last question. You had Dave Hussey alongside you the last couple of games.
Yeah.
Is that something that you want for the foreseeable future, sort of bring him into the first team coaching team, do you think?
Yeah, so Dave has stepped up to the end of the season. So I like to work with two assistants, and we do a lot of unit work and individual work. So Dave has come up with us and has been great. He's been invaluable in terms of his knowledge of the club, his knowledge of the young players. He's a really good coach. He's got a real desire to learn and improve, which I like. So he'll definitely be with us to the end of the season, and then we'll assess things moving into next season.